Yo, welcome to another video from me, Septic Sauce. Let's talk about the state of mid, or state of play, as other people call it. PlayStation's showcases and state of plays have been pretty, well, what's the word, crap, since, well, for many years. PlayStation has found home on showing its first party roadmap for ages. Despite some hardcore trying to downplay the importance of it, it has had a tremendous impact on the morale of a lot of PlayStation fans who have been looking for something from this #1 console platformer that has typically made its name with its first party showings. And this state of play was no different, barring one exception. PlayStation fanboys have had their expectations and standards drop so far down that if you show them one game, that will just mean a game changer to them, the second coming, if you will. But I'm here, objective as always, here to add some nuance to the topic. Yeah, what? Does that trigger you? Well, let's go through it, shall we? Astrobot is a Game of the Year contender. I completed it. Great game, platinumed it, and they showed off some time trial stuff, which is going to be going down quite well. I'm not sure how well this game is selling, but I'm not a PlayStation guy who just, obsesses about sales when it counts. But it's solid showing and whatnot. Now let's talk about the good. There were a couple of good things in this state of play. I'm not going to be unfair. You know me for my justice and equity and fairness, despite my proclivity to taking a giant shit on PlayStation fanboys. This PlayStation is a remaster station now. Let's not get twisted, but there's one good news. Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver 1 and 2 are getting a remaster. These are PlayStation 1 games, legendary classic games that need to come back. And I get it, a lot of people are saying, well, this really should have got the remake treatment. And I think a remaster makes sense because you need to be able to see what actual appreciable appetite is for this IP, because you don't want to sink millions into it and then realize, well, there's a lot of nostalgia and noise behind it, but it's a cult following that doesn't really justify spending millions on this IP. And the remaster upgrade looks significant. It needed to be anyway because it's an aging game. So great news. Dino Crisis is also getting a remaster treatment, another title that on this channel and many shows and a lot of corners of the internet, people have been asking Capcom to remake, and a remake would be great. It's only getting a remaster treatment, but maybe again assess any meaningful interest. I think Dino Crisis, if done well in a remake or sequel, would do well, because it just, I mean, if you're going to make a game on Horizon and God knows how many versions of robot dinosaurs, how about give us real dinosaurs? Yeah, so that was great. There were also, what else was good? If you're an Alan Wake 2 fan, I was initially, and then it just meandered at the end and I just wanted to complete it. And at that point I realized Remedy's games may not be for me, other than the classic Max Payne 1 and 2. The best Max Payne was made by Rockstar anyway, in my opinion. But Alan Wake 2, the Lake House, looks great. Visually, just looks great. If you're a fan of Alan Wake 2, you'll be happy. But that's a third-party title. You're really trying to see something new at least. And Hell Is Us, that's a game that really looked interesting to me visually from the art style. It kind of really resonated with me. Very that dark, almost Returnal kind of aesthetic. So it remains to be seen how that plays. Other than that, oh yeah, I haven't played Stellar Blade yet. I really do want to play it, but the Nier Automata, or Automata, or however you pronounce this name, is good. It's a great matchup for it. It's also got a photo mode now for all you perverts, so yeah, I'm sure that made you really happy. But beyond that, everything else was either third-party stuff or just remakes and remasters. Horizon Zero Dawn is getting a remaster. This got leaked a few days ago and we were laughing at the ludicrousness of this happening. Like, Horizon Zero Dawn already looks great and is a testament to how skilled and talented Guerrilla Games are. That Horizon Zero Dawn doesn't need a remaster, even though it's got an upgraded version on the PS5. Like, why do you need it? But PlayStation is just creatively bankrupt. I'm sorry. Other than some flares here and there, Astrobot, hold that high in your esteem of creativity. The rest of it is just remasters and whatnot. You show your October monthly games and no one cares. Like, what's that about? Third-party stuff that you just show off with great, like Dragon Age, the Veil God got a long extended look. And Dynasty Warriors just keeps getting versions of games that I don't even know who. I don't know anyone who buys Dynasty Warriors. But there's obviously a crowd there because these games keep getting made. And then they showed a Fortnite controller, and I'm just sitting there like, this is the face of PlayStation. And you may think I'm trolling, but the PlayStation that you knew and loved, for some of you hardcore people, especially in the PS4 gen, your hubris went to max levels, is dead. The gas version, the Fortnite, the mainstream stuff, now that PlayStation really isn't getting major direct competition, it's this. So none of it was really exciting, and that was par for the course. Even though Monster Hunter Wilds looks great, Pal World, that's coming to PlayStation finally. And a game that was ridiculed by a lot of PlayStation guys is now there. That's a big deal because this game dominated the sales charts. It's very addictive. I played it for a day and I thought, nah, I'm stop playing this game because it's like crack. And to me, there are better games to play out there. So the rest of it was crap. The rest of it was just same old, what we expect from State of Play. But like I said, PlayStation guys are starving. They are desperate for something after years of being neglected, after that shitty showcase, PlayStation showcase, which was legendary for the fallout of fanboy reactions. They've been begging for consecutive years for a good State of Play. And the thing that elevated it, if you just gave them one game, it's just like the second coming for them. And it happened with the sequel to Ghost of Tsushima, Ghost of Yotei. So Ghost of Yotei, I'm not going to downplay the impact of an announcement like this. Well, actually, I will, because my initial reactions was obviously excitement. You could tell straight away this was Ghost of Yotei. But visually, and I went on Twitter, and this upset so many fanboys, and I love it. It looks like a upgraded PS4 game. I'm sorry, you need to go through it, and we're gonna go through it together. This is not what I expect. For PlayStation's famed first-party titles that are known rightly for having the high level of visual fidelity, in terms of raw visual fidelity, Ghost of Yotei is essentially a freaking PS4 game, and I'm gonna go through it now. Here. Let's just cycle through, because as soon as I saw these settings, you knew this is Ghost of Tsushima. And here we go. We get some in-game assets, and you get a little bit of glimpse of, and this is in 4K before you start crying. Look, and there, the character, and immediately you can tell this is more or less the same from the facial animations, just the visual quality of the predominantly the faces in this game. And environmentally is where this game looks good, because it's always looked good. Now, I need you to separate art style from raw visual fidelity, because there are examples of games this generation or upcoming games that blow this out of the water. You've got Horizon, the update, the DLC for the PS5 looks great. You've got Hellblade, even though it's a glorified tech demo, I'll give you that. At least it's next gen. And in terms of open world games, well, but other than Horizon, look at Death Stranding 2, and then look at Fable, and then look at this, and it's not the same. And this image kind of sums up a lot of what you can expect in terms of from Ghost of Yotei, in terms of its visual flair, sharpness, and this is where the PS5 Pro is really going to sell you. Higher FPS and a lot more sharpness as a result of its PSSR, frame rate resolution upscaling, and all of that. And it's just pretty dire. Like, none of this, not dire, dire's overstating this a bit. It's a PS4 game. It just looks like an upgraded PS4 game, just getting a very conservative upgrade in terms of raw visual fidelity. I genuinely was asking, is this a DLC or a sequel? Because it reeked of DLC to me. Because it's just no significant jump. Ghost of Tsushima was a PS4 game. This is a PS5 game. And it's just not there. It was nice to see Sucker Punch's logo there because they've been missing in action for a while. Now, this scene is beautiful. And it's beautiful because art style. Remember, distinguish the two. But even in a raw visual fidelity state, that looks great. Because you've got these volumetric clouds here, and you've just got this beautiful vista. It's just shot so well, wide angle. Like this, if it started off like this, I would be like, yo. Like, in terms of impact. And then it goes back to this. And these images here kind of sum up what you're going to get in terms of an upgrade in Ghost of Tsushima. You're going to get lots of abundance of foliage, upgraded particles, the amount of particles up in there, and that the totality of all of that can then serve to really elevate the visuals, the visual canvas of the game. I'm not denying that. People on Twitter can't make that distinction because most of the people on Twitter are, well, the PlayStation guys are morons. But this scene here, this is probably one of the most impressive scenes throughout the whole thing. Look, you get a lot of volumetric stuff, lots of foliage here, just shot really well. The lighting, the way it's bouncing off the foliage looks really nice. But the rest of it, you could just tell it's just going to be carried on its visual fidelity. And here it is. This is what I'm talking about the density of its particle effects and all the objects that it throws at you. Look how many crows and all of this stuff you have. Expect the base PS5 to have a little less than this, or a lot less. I don't know how much less. Lots of flowers here, just the lighting seeping through. So it has its touches, but this is not what I expect from a generational leap. I don't want to seem like I'm being like overly analytical, but we've been conditioned to expect a certain quality bar from PlayStation, and it's not there. The attention to detail like you typically associate with Sony is not there. Just even the little touches about, you know, just the ribbons there. The face, it looks fine, but it doesn't scream next gen at all. And the attention to detail isn't there. And look at this section here. I found this very jarring. It's like a bloody hurricane in the background. Yeah, look at it. Look how much shit is going down there. And you know the wind works in this game. You scroll across that redundant controller feature. Oh, look at this freaking hurricane that's going down, and there's not a single hair on this wolf is moving. Let me just go back. Look at it. Is it just me? You find that not weird? Not a single strand of his hair is moving in this crazy hurricane or whatever the hell it is, and all this other stuff is moving. Look at it, and it looks beautiful. Reminds me of Hero, like House of Flying Daggers. If you haven't watched those movies, I don't know what you're doing with your life. Incredible movies. Just so much dankness. So it's surprising. Well, I say it's surprising. Immediately off the bat, I found the visual quality jarring or disappointed, and at least some people agree. A lot of people do agree. It's just the PlayStation guys are running on a high and have been battered down so badly with substandard shitty showcases that them being shown a sequel to a title that they love will obviously make them defensive. I get it, but some of us can have some honest conversations. This game is going to be great, and the visual density of it will elevate the gameplay experience. And the final product, then this is not the final showing, I'm sure will improve beyond what we've just seen. But you can tell that as a baseline, what they're going for there, it doesn't come close to the likes of Death Stranding 2. It doesn't come close to the likes of Fable. And I don't know why people are so reluctant to admit that, especially from the PlayStation guys who have been such a stiff upper lip, the little monocle there, and they're like, oh yeah, and they micro-analyzed everything from Hellblade 2 to everything in visuals. But here they're just remarkably blind to it all. Ultimately, I think Ghost of Yotei is going to be a great game. Does not convince me to get PS5 Pro. I will get base PS5 because I like Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima was an incredible game. That's my take on the state of play. What did you think? Did you think this was a well, Ghost of Yotei. Do you think it was a great showing? Like, does this scream next gen to you? Be honest. PlayStation fanboys, I know you'll be in the comment section. Be honest and like, substantiate your point. Like, how is that next gen? I don't think it is. But generally, considering how crap PlayStation's state of plays are, give them the scraps, they'll take it. So, well done for a C- show from Sony, finally, to compel you to buy a PS5 Pro for a game that looks like a PS4 game up-res and didn't even show the PS5 Pro version of the game. This is the new Sony. Let me know what you think. Hit that like button, subscribe, even if you're a Pody hater, subscribe, and check out the Patreon for exclusive videos and stuff. And check out the Discord where we battle against all kinds of fanboys. It's a lovely place. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Safe.